Now on Good Morning Northwest, a child with life-threatening injuries attacked by a dog on Halloween night in Spokane. We'll let you know more about that attack, what we know this morning.
And some big changes on the way in your forecast, a wet weather pattern that will get started tonight.
And Israel bombs a refugee camp in Gaza, killing more than 50 people. How it's justifying the attack and how the U.S. is reacting this morning. You're watching Good Morning Northwest on 4 News Now. So glad you are. I'm Robin Vance.
And I'm Natalie Grant. It is Wednesday, November 1st. First day of November, if you can believe it, already here.
I believe it.
Yes, we're tracking a rainy start to our month here. Turn things over to Matt Gray, who's in for Mark this morning. Another kind of chilly start to our day here, Matt.
Yeah, another chilly start, but this is our last chilly start for a while. And wet weather is approaching the inland Northwest, and that's why we are tracking some snow showers here on live Doppler radar this morning just east of the Cascades. So let's take a little bit of a zoom in here now. The radar picture is showing a wintry mix, but temperatures are down in the 20s here across Okanogan County down to the Chelan area. And so we'll see occasional snow showers, maybe some slight accumulations and some slipperiness out there on the roads. Not expecting a ton of issues here, but certainly something to monitor if you're watching us from Okanogan County or on the Waterfield Plateau this morning. Elsewhere, expect things to stay dry as we head through the morning hours. Temperatures in the teens still at places like Colville, but mostly in the 20s and right around 30 degrees in Spokane. Once again, this is going to be our last freezing night here for a little bit as much warmer air pushes in. And as that happens, starting tonight, things are going to get pretty soggy around here. I'll show you about the timing of the rain for the rest of the week and this weekend coming up.
Matt, thanks. A dog attacked a child at this home near Nevada and Walton, just a few blocks from Rogers High School last night. Spokane police say that child was rushed to the hospital and has life-threatening injuries. We reached out to Spokane police to check on the child and for details about the dog. They weren't able to tell us anything else. We will post updates and send alerts on this story on the 4 News Now app. This morning, tensions are escalating in the Israel-Hamas war. The Gaza Health Ministry says Israeli military airstrikes on a Gaza refugee camp killed at least 52 Palestinian civilians and injured many more.
Israel confirms it launched those attacks to target Hamas militant leaders. Sydney Charles is live at the Breaking Now desk this morning following the latest updates from the Middle East. Sydney.
That's right, Natalie. So we are taking a live look at the Israel-Gaza border right now, where there's been a sharp rise in deaths in Israel's war against Hamas, prompting the United Nations Security General to renew calls for a humanitarian ceasefire. Just a few hours ago, the Associated Press reported more Israeli airstrikes have hit apartment buildings near Gaza City for the second day in a row now. Now, this comes as several Middle East nations are condemning Israel's assault on a refugee camp yesterday. The White House is working to rush humanitarian aid into Gaza and help Americans trapped there to get out. And take a look at this new video, guys. Take a look at your screen showing the extent of the damage. ABC News determining the airstrikes caused craters consistent with bombs dropped from an aircraft. The Israel Defense Forces says it carried out the strikes and that it killed a top Hamas leader and other militants. The IDF is also accusing Hamas of using civilians as human shields. Last night, ABC's Ian Pannell pressing an IDF official on why that camp was targeted. This was his response.
There were secondary explosions and that the subterranean infrastructure also exploded or imploded as a result of some kind of secondary explosion, and that there are quite a lot of casualties in the area, presumably
civilian casualties.
At this stage, I can't confirm that. I assess that is the case.
Israel also bombing southern Gaza near the Rafah border crossing into Egypt, which opened today with priority for injured Palestinians. On Capitol Hill, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Secretary of State Antony Blinken urging lawmakers to approve defense aid for Israel amid several interruptions from protesters. FBI Director Christopher Wray also warning about the risk of attacks here at home.
The ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole nother level.
Now, the top Jewish and Muslim civil rights organizations in the U.S. both report huge spikes in incidents targeting their groups. The Anti-Defamation League says since October 7th, there's been a nearly 400% increase in anti-Semitic incidents in America. And Secretary Blinken has announced plans to travel to Israel on Friday for continued talks with Israeli leaders about the Hamas war. Reporting in studio, Sydney Charles, 4 News Now. Natalie.
Thank you, Sydney. Well, we now know what caused a deadly house fire in Millwood on Monday. A cigarette was tossed outside of the home near the front porch. Fire officials say it fell onto flammable material outside and then quickly spread into the house. When fire crews arrived, they found 2 young boys inside. They were able to get into the kids' bedroom and get the 7- and 9-year-old out, saying they did everything they could to keep them alive.
Every effort was made to resuscitate those 2 boys, and unfortunately we weren't able to accomplish that.
Now, the fire department says it does its best to educate the community about fire risks, and they hope that they can keep any more of these tragedies from happening. Now, the fire department is asking that you keep this family in your prayers as they grieve the young lives lost.
The Spokane Valley City Council has deferred a vote on a new plan to address homelessness across the city. The action plan consists of these 3 main points, one of them being to prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place by addressing the city's housing crisis. According to the plan, 25% of renters in Spokane Valley are severely cost burdened, meaning more than 50% of their household income goes to paying rent. Experts say it is this group of people who are the most at risk of becoming homeless. To do this, the city plans to look to fill the gap in middle housing. That includes more multifamily housing like duplexes, triplexes, and even quadplexes. The city council deferred the vote because it wanted more time to make a decision. Now, this is just a roadmap, and the city would still need to come up with ways to fund these types of programs outlined in the action plan. To see what other ways the city could tackle the issue, you can see the full action plan on KXLY.com.
And Election Day is now less than a week away, and ballots are starting to arrive at the Spokane County Elections Office. At last check, just more than 16% of those ballots have been returned. And if you still need to vote, there are plenty of places from Airway Heights all the way to Liberty Lake where you can drop off your ballot. You can find a full list of those locations on our website, KXLY.com/forthepeople.
This week's repairs to the Maple Street Bridge are ahead of schedule, but that means some changes to traffic revisions for the rest of the week. All northbound lanes will be closed from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. From that point, at least one northbound lane will remain open. But now all southbound lanes will be closed from 1 to 6 today. Tomorrow, all southbound lanes will close at 6 a.m., will remain closed until 6 p.m. The project may finish ahead of the expected mid-November completion date. That'd be great. Drivers are encouraged to use alternate routes on Monroe, Washington, and Division while the project continues. It's just really confusing.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes.
Yeah, so what I would do is, just avoid it altogether.
It sounds like the best option here for sure.
It's now 6:08.
And we're getting another look at weather here with Matt Gray, who's in for Mark this morning. Got some air quality alerts.
Yeah, some air quality diminished across the region. It's been so calm, our weather, that now the pollutants are stacking up a little bit. But with our changes tonight comes some relief from the diminished air quality and this air stagnation advisory that will go through the rest of the day. We're talking wet weather coming up.
I'm Chris Crocker, live at Alsco, where your generous Coats for Kids donations will be cleaned, getting ready for distribution. I'll show you the process after the break.
A cougar found in Riverside State Park will spend weeks listening to dog and human noises. How that will help this ferocious feline coexist coming up.
And how hate targeting one group in the United States hits historic levels. Good morning, Northwest. We'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
5 stars. All rise for To Kill a Mockingbird. Unmissable and unforgettable. A mockingbird for our moment. Beautiful, elegiac, satisfying, even exhilarating. A New York Times Critics Pick. Mockingbird is now the most successful American play in Broadway history. All rise for Aaron Sorkin's great play. Richard Thomas is Atticus Finch in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
December 5th through 10th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Twilight Bedding is the choice for all your mattress needs and now has 2 convenient locations in Spokane. Every mattress is manufactured locally, right here in Spokane, and crafted to meet any need you have, whether it's for your bedroom, boat, RV, or your pet. Stop by either location today and talk with an expert about the mattress that's right for you. Sleep right by Twilight.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with, and not worth it. You deserve something better and better. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality health insurance. We have plans with as low as $0 out-of-pocket premiums, a network of local doctors, and a rewards program for making healthy choices. Nice. That's why we're America's #1 marketplace health insurance. So call us or go online now. And Better Health. On a mission for better.
As police officers, public safety isn't just a talking point.
It's what we do. And Betsy Wilkerson has not made it easier to keep Spokane safe.
This isn't political spin, these are the facts. Betsy stalled on banning drugs in the midst of record overdoses.
And voted to defund drug investigations.
She voted twice against banning homeless camps near schools.
I want a city council that has my back when I'm protecting theirs.
The choice is clear. Vote Kim Please for city council president.
Joni here at Post Falls Volkswagen with this bold and beautiful Taos. But there's more than just good looks behind this compact SUV. This is the perfect choice because it's also practical and efficient, with driver assist and all the latest enhanced safety features. Plus, the Taos is packed with the useful high-tech features you use every day. If you're thinking of a compact SUV, think Taos at your nearby Post Falls Volkswagen, the home of 0000.
Save your green at Jennifer's.
It is 6:12. Here's a look at what's new on Good Morning Northwest. FBI Director Christopher Wray said yesterday that anti-Semitism is reaching historic levels in the U.S. as the war between Israel and Hamas intensifies.
Now, according to Wray, the Jewish American population accounts for 2.4% of the American public, but 60% of religious-based hate crimes. The Anti-Defamation League reported more than 300 anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. since the Hamas attack back on October 7th. Wray said that the FBI is tackling the rise in anti-Semitism through a series of law enforcement efforts that include joint terrorism task forces, hate crime investigations, and intelligence sharing.
Donald Trump's oldest son, Don Jr., is expected to testify in the civil fraud trial against the family and their business today. He is named as a defendant in the $250 million lawsuit brought by the New York Attorney General's office against the former president, his company, and several executives, including 3 of his adult children. The lawsuit accuses Trump Jr. and his brother Eric of knowingly participating in a scheme to inflate their father's net worth to obtain financial benefits like better loan and insurance policy terms. Eric Trump is expected to testify later this week.
Well, the rest of today looking fairly calm if I can get our 10-second takeaway started. But the countdown is on to a change to much wetter weather. That will begin tonight. In fact, later this evening, soggy conditions that will continue through the weekend.
At Riverside State Park, houndsmen were chasing a cougar that had a close encounter with a bicyclist a couple of weeks ago.
The story's wild. Crews are putting a collar on the cougar so they can track and study its behavior around people. Take a look at this. Bart George with Kalispell Natural Resources says the cougar study started 3 years ago because of serious cougar attacks in the past. And here's how this study works. A team puts a collar on the cougar that you see there. The cougar will then listen to human voices and dogs through a speaker on the collar. They will then study the cougar's behavior then for weeks.
What we're trying to do is we want them to have a negative association with human voices. So when they hear people, they're looking to get out of the way, get to cover, stay away from people.
Now, Kalispell Natural Resources says it plans to complete the project by March, hoping to publish the information for other states. Well, your Good Morning Northwest time right now, 6:14.
A huge undertaking is underway.
And Chris Crocker is there for us. We'll talk to her live as local businesses start cleaning thousands of coats for kids.
And as we head to break, here's a live look at Riverfront Park in downtown Spokane. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
You can support Wishing Star during Give Back Thursdays in November with Numerica and Brick West.
Wishing Star Foundation provides hope and lasting memories for children who are battling life-threatening illnesses. We are currently working to grant over 50 wishes for children in the Inland Northwest.
Anyone who donates to Wishing Star will get some raffle tickets for some great Brick West prizes.
And for every drink sold at Brick West on Thursdays in November, Numerica Credit Union will donate $1 to Wishing Star up to $1,000.
Cheers!
Right on time.
See our huge selection of Camrys built for everyday drivers at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Get ready for Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Spokane Arena this weekend. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Great Clips. You have to see it live, so lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Sorry about that car accident. Got that insurance claim check for you.
I gotta call Swap. I gotta call Swap.
Here you go.
That's it? I'm calling him.
You forgot your check.
Craig Swap & Associates is on your side. We'll make sure you get the help you deserve, and we only get paid after you win.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
We are Grocery Outlet, and we are your Bargain Bliss Market. What's Bargain Bliss? You know that feeling you get when you find the name brands you love, but for way, way less? That's Bargain Bliss. It's Grocery Outlet's 20% off wine sale going on now through November 7th. We have hundreds of wines sure to pair with any gathering. So act now because this deal won't last long. Stop in and save today.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Spokane's homeless plan is not working. In the last 6 years, Spokane's homeless rate has nearly doubled, while the U.S. rate barely increased. And while many unhoused persons genuinely need a helping hand, others have accelerated Spokane's problems of crime and open drug use. Similar-sized U.S. cities don't have these problems, but Spokane became home to the largest homeless camp in the state of Washington. Why Spokane? Hear the answer at curingspokane.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
It's now 6:18. All the coats are collected for our Coats for Kids drive. Now it's time to get them ready for distribution.
Now the first step is getting them all cleaned up, with thousands of coats needing to be washed. It's definitely a huge job there. Our chief meteorologist Chris Crocker is joining us live from Alsco, where the task has already begun, as we've been seeing all morning. Good morning, Chris.
You know, you would think that it was a huge task, but Alsco does 50,000 pounds of laundry a day. So Coats for Kids is a very small percentage of that. The coats are cleaned and are now going to be loaded into the dryer. And I've got Blake Long here with me, the production manager. And Blake, you were telling me the wastewater from these washing machines, where does that go?
So the water's going to go into our reclaim tank. That's going to get separated out with water that we can reuse and contaminants that we can. Those contaminants are going to get sent to the city to be processed however they do. And then we're going to reuse the water that was separated in our system. That allows us to not use as much water in our processing. We can reuse the water, which is just a cleaner, greener way to do it.
And you've received all sorts of awards for that.
Yes, we have. Not only for our reclaimed water, but also for our clean air. We've actually got gold standards that go above and beyond from the city.
That is fantastic. Okay, so tell me what's happening over here with the conveyor belt.
So if we step over here just a little bit, so Christy's actually unloading the washer to then load the dryer.
Oh, there we go. We're watching it unload.
If we step this way, she's going to actually move this whole conveyor over to then load the clean laundry into the dryer.
This is a absolutely fascinating process, Blake. And there goes the laundry. And these are all hospital linen.
Yeah, these are actually hospital scrubs that are getting processed right now.
What else do you clean here at Alsco?
We do about everything. We can do shop towels, we can do coveralls, garments, aprons. Almost any industry we're relevant in. So.
And coats for kids, and we thank you for that. Natalie and Robin, superhero here for Coats for Kids. We really appreciate the hard work they do here, and we're going to go see what happens next.
I love this. That's one of my favorite live shots that we do because it's so fascinating to see. And you know, so many people donate, and these go directly to the kids who need them, and this is such an important process in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to see how the process is done is so interesting to see here. Well, we're seeing some dry skies out here this morning, although it's pretty dark out there right now.
I've never been this excited about laundry my entire life.
I know, right? It's so cool.
All right, well, let's get your day started, right? So temperature's still pretty chilly, but this is our last kind of chilly start to the day where you'll need the ice scraper. You're definitely going to in Coeur d'Alene. At the airport, it is clear in 26 up the highway, but down by the lake, look at this. Some pretty thick fog here right along Interstate 90, so you want to build in a little bit of extra time in the morning drive as that fog is sticking right around the lake area as we head through the rest of this morning. And you can see some steam and some fog right at the edge there of our camera here in downtown Spokane, where it's a little bit warmer. So other than the fog, it should be a pretty smooth sailing type of day out on the road, out at the bus stop. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s generally, and we will get above freezing a little bit quicker today than we have over the past few mornings. It's been a pretty stagnant day, or stagnant week, really, as we've seen pretty calm, cool weather. Well, that has led to some diminished air quality this morning, and that will continue for the rest of the day. Moderate air quality with occasionally some sheltered valleys like the Silver Valley getting into that orange range and healthy for sensitive groups. So certainly something to keep an eye on there. As we head through the rest of the day, temperatures in the middle and upper 40s and low 50s. That's pretty typical for this point in the year. Let's go to the second half of the day now. A small chance for a couple isolated showers, but then as we head into the evening, here comes the wet weather we have been talking about all week. And look how things by 11 o'clock, it is really coming down in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We may see a wintry mix in places like Republic and Bonners Ferry through the night, so slippery conditions in some of our northern counties. Here's 7 a.m. Thursday morning, so the start of our commute tomorrow is going to be wet and sloppy. As we get into that 11 noon time frame, we start to see that wet weather begin to leave the area. We'll have a nice second half of the day, but there could be some scattered showers that continue to hang around. Temperatures, or rather not temperatures, but a good chunk of rain over the next 48 hours, desperately needed around here after we've had a very dry summer and a pretty dry start to the fall season. But yeah, take a look at that. Lots of wet weather coming up here for the weekend as well. We're trying to find some indoor activities.
Yeah, board games, movies, football.
Oh, yeah.
All those things.
All the football.
Thanks, Matt. Well, good morning, Northwest. Time right now is 6:23 on this Wednesday.
Yeah, we're speaking of football. Injuries have become the Washington State Cougars' Achilles heel this season as the Cougs look to snap their 4-game losing streak. Find out who else could potentially be out Saturday against Stanford next in Morning Sports.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
It's the new Coeur d'Alene Nissan Service and Parts Center. We're ready to keep your car in the best condition possible so you can drive with confidence. From express service to more advanced diagnostics and repairs, our certified technicians deliver expert service and advice. We also have an inventory of factory Nissan parts. You can personalize your vehicle with accessories tailored to your Nissan. Parts and service at the new Coeur d'Alene Nissan right off Highway 95.
Discover the place where homes become extraordinary. At Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery, our consultants provide a dedicated one-on-one service. We'll help you choose from the best selection of luxury brands and work with your team of contractors to ensure a seamless experience from start to finish. Bring your vision to us.
Shop online or schedule a one-on-one showroom appointment to discover stunning products from brands like Thermador at build.com/Ferguson.
The Spokane Police Guild strongly endorses Nadine Woodward for mayor. This race for mayor is critical because it's going to determine whether or not the public safety policies err on the side of defending those who are committing the crimes or those who are being victimized by those crimes. Mayor Woodward has continued to show her support of the Spokane police officers serving our city. Safety is your right, and the mayor is fighting fiercely to protect it. Vote for Mayor Nadine Woodward.
Expect even more from KXLY Plus. Live updates from the 4 News Now team. Breaking news as it happens. Weather every 10 minutes. Free on your time. Download the app, connect to your streaming TV, and connect on KXLY Plus.
Did you just buy a new home and don't have a lot of extra cash on hand for furniture? Or are you upsizing your home and need to fill it? Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake can help by saving you thousands on decorating your home. With over 60,000 square feet of inventory, we have a variety of unique, budget-friendly items that will add value while saving you a ton of money. And the best part? You don't have to overspend. Buy here and save up to 70% off retail with countless designer name brand options to choose from. Consign Furniture, the smart way to buy, easy way to sell.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. November 10th and 11th, First Interstate Center for the Arts. On sale now.
Welcome into Morning Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Washington State football has lost 4 straight games, but the Cougars will look to bounce back against Stanford this week. However, it could be an uphill climb due to injuries. Starting running back Nakia Watson is questionable for Saturday's game. Watson left the 4th quarter after suffering a leg injury on this play against Arizona State over the weekend. Washington State head coach Jake Dickert said Watson did not break any bones or anything, which is a good sign. The team is hopeful for Watson to suit up on Saturday. And cornerback Shaw Smith-Wade is also questionable this week. Smith-Wade missed the Arizona State game due to a soft tissue injury. He remains day-to-day. Kickoff against Stanford is at 6 o'clock on Saturday night in Pullman. Now, it's going to be a blast from the past at Eastern Washington University this weekend. Former Eagles head coach Paul Wulff makes his return to Cheney to face his old team. Wulff is now the head coach at Cal Poly. Wulff was the head coach at Eastern Washington for 8 seasons, and prior to that, Wulff spent time coaching the Eagles' offensive line, which included current Eastern Washington head coach Aaron Best. Best says it's going to be all love when he sees his former coach on the sidelines until they kick off, of course.
It's tough to walk away knowing one of the two of you is not is going to be grumpy, but I'll hug him. Always have, always will, no matter the outcomes, no matter the situation. You honor the ones that got you to your spot, win, lose, or draw, and whether they're tough times or not tough times, that's always going to be the way it is.
And kickoff is at 1 o'clock on Saturday in Cheney. And that'll wrap us up for Morning Sports.
Well, your Good Morning Northwest time right now, 6:28 on this Wednesday.
A right-wing social media influencer with more than 1 million followers calls for the murders of Catholic Charities employees. Coming up, why and how the organization is responding.
And why the FBI has descended on the house where 4 U of I students were murdered almost 1 year ago.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
4 News Now is brought to you by Spokane Tribe Casino.
I'm voting yes on Measure 1 for small business.
I'm voting yes on Measure 1 for my family.
I spent my career protecting my family and yours. You bet I'm voting yes on Measure 1.
If safety is your #1 priority,
then vote yes on Measure 1.
Paid for by Jobs for Justice.
Hey, Donnie, can you give me one reason to call the advocates?
Sorry, Ken, I can't.
I can. I mean, who fights like we do? You can't give me one reason?
Nope.
How about that we take on big insurance bullies? We're not afraid of any case. We're passionate and smart. Really? You can't come up with one reason?
I can't come up with one, Ken. Because there are 500 million.
All the money we've recovered for our clients. Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
From 4 News Now, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Well, good morning, Northwest. I'm Natalie Grant.
And I'm Robin Nance. It is Wednesday, November 1st. Welcome to the new month. Let's check in with Matt Gray and your first alert forecast. He's in for Mark today.
And so far, the new month starting the same as the old month. It's chilly out there. We're actually seeing a little bit of patchy fog around downtown Coeur d'Alene. So want to build that in to your morning commute time, as it likely is there are more areas of patchy fog. In fact, we're seeing at least a little bit right on the edge there as you look towards the west central neighborhood here from downtown Spokane on our other camera. And you can see some pretty chilly temperatures out there still this morning. This is going to be our last chilly morning and also one of our last opportunities as we're seeing across Okanagan County and the Lake Chelan area to pick up a little bit of snow. So another place where you want to build in a little bit of extra time to your morning drive, as we may see some light road accumulations there in Okanagan County in the Highway 97 corridor. For most of us, however, today is going to be fairly calm. We will see a mix of sun and clouds, but mostly cloudy conditions as we head later into the day, with temperatures in the middle and upper 40s, which is pretty normal for this point in the year. What is a little bit less normal is what we're going to see this evening, where our rain chances, especially as we head into the late evening, just skyrocket and stay there. Not often we put 100% on the board here, hardly ever, as we get into tomorrow morning's commute. So it is going to be a soggy night across the inland Northwest, and this will be the first of many wet weather days coming up that will show you in your extended forecast coming up.
Matt, thanks. The FBI is at the King Road house where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last year.
This comes after suspect Bryan Kohberger's trial was delayed indefinitely back in late August. Kohberger is accused of murdering Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin in an off-campus home nearly 1 year ago. The FBI is working to build a physical, scaled model of the house. Now, to do so, they have laser scanners surrounding the perimeter of the home for 3D photos and a few drones for aerial footage. According to a statement released by the University of Idaho, visual displays like these take months to build, time that the FBI didn't have when the trial was set to take place back in October. Now, part of the university's statement read, while measurements and details needed to build a model were taken at the time of the initial investigation, the FBI is using this extended trial time to gather their own measurements and images now that personal property has been removed from the presence. Now, Moscow PD tells us that the FBI is working to produce a product that prosecutors can use in trial. Because of the gag order that's in place, they were unable to elaborate. An influencer with more than 1 million followers has called for the murder of Catholic Charities workers.
The Catholic Charities of Eastern Washington responded to the threats, voicing their disgust. Stu Peters is a far-right internet personality with more than 1 million followers across all media platforms. Over the weekend, the Minnesota-based man attacked Catholic Charities during a speech about immigration. In a clip that was posted to his verified X account, formerly Twitter, he said the best option to stop undocumented immigration is shooting everyone involved with Catholic Charities.
We're proud of the work we do, and we're proud of our staff that does it. And people like Stu Peters that want to instruct others to shoot and murder us for doing that work, my only message to Stu Peters is come talk to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. It won't go well for you.
The CEO of Catholic Charities says since Peters' tweet, they have received direct messages with threats like, your day of reckoning is coming. Catholic Charities has notified Spokane law enforcement about the tweets and says it's taking extra steps to protect its staff. On a side note, Peters has previously called for the executions of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
This morning from the Breaking Now desk, we're expecting an announcement from the Federal Reserve on interest rates this afternoon. Most economists predict Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will hold interest rates steady for the second time in a row. The U.S. economy has had a strong third quarter, thanks in large part to robust consumer spending. However, even if interest rates hold still, they're still at a level not seen in 22 years. Some analysts say that could cause financial concerns.
I think if you paint with a broad brush, it ignores the reality that about 60% of households are living paycheck to paycheck. We've seen credit card balances going up at a time when credit card rates are at a record high. People are not financing purchases at 20% interest because everything's wonderful.
The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates 11 times since March of last year, and Fed officials say a 12th hike is possible next month. The U.S. economy may soon hit a snag for various reasons, including the resumption of student loan repayments, soaring bond yields, and a possible government shutdown later on this month. Reporting in studio, Sydney Charles, 4 News Now.
Well, the body of a man found in North Spokane in a landfill 34 years ago has finally been identified. Take a look at this picture of Clifford Bepps. Last time his sister saw him was back in 1989. His body was found by the driver of a bulldozer at the landfill. Now, at the time, investigators couldn't identify him, so he was buried as an unknown man. Now, Bepps' DNA was preserved, and last month, a man searching for his biological father entered his DNA into a database, and it was a match. The identity was confirmed through DNA testing of Bepps' sister. Just a wild story there.
It is now 6:35.
And we have another look at our weather here as we start a soggy rest of our week here. Matt Gray in for Mark this morning.
Well, the clock is ticking on that dry weather that we've experienced for most of the week. Clock's ticking to the cooler weather as well. We're going to be warmer, and we're also going to be a lot wetter. So try to trade in the heavy coats for the raincoats coming up in my forecast.
Plus, inflation taking a toll on yet another monthly cost, health insurance. How much your premiums could increase. And as we go to a break, here's your first look. What's coming up at 7 on GMA.
In this morning's GMA First Look, ABC News getting exclusive access as a visually emotional Sherry Papini and ex-husband Keith Papini appear back in court.
I'm going to do everything I can to find my wife.
Nearly 7 years ago, Sherry faked her own kidnapping, triggering a 3-week multi-state search.
Hey, what's hurting? You're chained up.
She's chained up? Now, the couple in a heated fight over finances, including insurance money paid to the couple for home repairs when married. Sherry asking for her share of it, but Keith says that money is gone, in part to living expenses like $500 a day to his mother while they lived with her. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on the court proceedings. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
Eternal energy, you don't know what's standing in front of me. Got that eternal energy.
Are you comfortable? Absurdly comfortable. At Bombas, we're obsessed with comfort, quality, movement. Socks, tees, underwear. Because your basic things should be your best things. As always, one purchased equals one donated. Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
Mornings. Cough? Congestion?
I'm feeling better. All in one and done with new Mucinex Kickstart.
Headache?
Better now.
New Mucinex Kickstart gives all in one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. It's comeback season.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Sorry about that car accident. Got that insurance claim check for you.
I got a call swap.
You forgot your check.
We'll make sure you get the help you deserve, and we only get paid after you win.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Here we go. Football is back, and your fantasy lineups are set. But the real action this season is at Turf Club Sportsbook. We've got real sports betting in the heart of the action at Northern Quest, with wall-to-wall HD TVs and luxury leather seating just off the casino floor. And now, you can even place bets right on your phone with our new mobile app. There's nothing fantasy about that. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer.
If you need a new mattress, what you don't know could end up costing you. Come to Twilight Bedding Mattress Factory and talk to the experts. We make your mattress right here in our factory, so we can tell you exactly what it's made of. Twilight Bedding is also the only place in the area where you can still buy a double-sided mattress. Visit our website to learn the top 10 questions to ask when buying a mattress. And then come see us. Sleep Right by Twilight.
A holiday tradition, the Nutcracker with State Street Ballet. Music performed live by the Spokane Symphony at the Fox Theater. 5 performances, November 30th through December 3rd. Tickets at foxtheaterspokane.org or 509-624-1200.
When I speak to families across Spokane, it's clear we want the same things. Our family to be safe, affordable housing, economic opportunities, and good jobs for our children and grandchildren. We want our streets fixed, our river protected, and a compassionate, effective response to homelessness. Families from Indian Trail to Lincoln Heights are ready for us to pull together and build a better Spokane. It feels pretty divided in Spokane right now, but bridges bring us together, and when I'm mayor, we'll build some new ones. I'm Lisa Brown. I approve this message.
Good morning. Welcome back. It's now 6:41. On the west side of the state, a Tacoma group that supports more protection for renters is learning disturbing news about their campaign signs.
Tacoma for All says a hateful symbol was found on the signs throughout the city. Mary Cypers from the Anti-Defamation League says Jewish population makes up just 2% of the U.S. population, and Seattle's Jewish community only has 70,000 people. She says this kind of symbolism just further isolates one of the region's smallest groups.
I think there's just a huge sense of unease right now and fear, and feeling like even in our local communities, which we hope would be a safe and inclusive space, we're continuously reminded that there is hate out there.
Now, if passed, Initiative 1 would require landlords to provide relocation assistance, set limits on rental fees, and prevent evictions for certain groups during the winter months. Tacoma for All says renters need this initiative, and hate speech won't stop their efforts to push it forward.
And the countdown to wet weather is on. This is quite the pattern change as we see soggy conditions tonight through this weekend and beyond as well. Several days of wet weather coming up.
The cost of job-based health care coverage for next year is expected to rise at its fastest pace in years due to inflation. Benefit consultants say while companies will pay the brunt of the increase, employees could also end up paying higher premiums and out-of-pocket costs for care. The average increases for 2024 are still not known. Employee premiums increased an average of nearly 2% for this year, with employer costs rising an average of 4.5%. Experts say the impact of inflation is often delayed in the healthcare sector, since the contracts between medical providers and insurers tend to be locked in for years. Good morning. Northwest time is now 6:43.
Our chief meteorologist Chris Crocker is live this morning at Alsco, telling us about the ways they're getting ready for Coats for Kids distributions. Chris.
Well, I am here at the tail end of the process now. Thousands of freshly laundered coats here at Alsco. I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, Tone Loc, Color Me Bad, and Young MC. Saturday, November 18th. Spokane live at Spokane Tribe Casino. Tickets on sale now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
There's nothing worse than politicians who say one thing then do another. Like Lisa Brown, who said,
People care about crime. They want people who break laws to be held accountable by our law enforcement system. I believe that.
Brown's actual record, she gave our tax dollars to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. Brown gave a $50,000 grant to Lataxion, a felon convicted of murder. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
From Priscilla, Jacob Alora,
Lordy. He's playing Elvis. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Plus, Chef Jose Andres. And a special visitor.
Watch Kelly today at 4 and 4 News Now at 5.
Kylie and I know there's a lot of great choices for new and pre-owned cars in North Idaho.
And we want Parker Subaru to be your first choice.
Because Parker Subaru has won the coveted Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award every year since we began in 2012.
Not only do we have a great selection of Subarus, we have an award-winning service center.
Because we are committed to keeping you satisfied long after the purchase.
Visit us online at parkersubaru.com or stop by and visit us at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
We've collected thousands of warm winter coats for this year's Coats for Kids campaign. The coats have now been cleaned thanks to Alsco. If you know a child in need of a warm winter coat, go to KXLY.com/coatsforkids to find a distribution location near you.
As the cold days are upon us, we would like to give a special thank you to Chaz for sponsoring Coats for Kids this year. Their dedication to this community will help to keep thousands of kids warm this winter.
The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, Tone Loc, Color Me Bad, and Young MC. Saturday, November 18th. Spokane Live at Spokane Tribe Casino. Tickets on sale now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
Welcome back in. Just after 6:45 this morning, our annual Coats for Kids coat drive is moving on to its next phase, which is distribution.
There's still a lot of work to be done before we can get those thousands of coats into the hands of kids who need them this winter. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has been live with us all morning. What a pleasure, where that huge job of cleaning is underway.
It is underway, and they've already finished many donated coats. Oh gosh, they come fresh from the dryer. Beautiful coats that are clean and ready to head out to the various community centers. We get them in these giant bins here, and then we get to come out and then bag them up. And then we will deliver these bags to community centers around the region. And, you know, you can just tell when you take out one of these coats, the love with which these were cleaned and cared for. And here to tell me more about that is Blake Long, the production manager here at Alsco. And your workers do an amazing job with these coats.
Thank you. Yeah, not only does the upper management have a lot of pride in this, but my employees do as well. Like I was telling you earlier, as soon as I bring it up, they're, yes, let's do it. We're ready to go. And there's a lot of pride in handling these and making sure we do it well.
Well, I'm glad that you like it, because this is our 38th year, and we want to keep doing this indefinitely and want you to partner with us on that. You do so much laundry here. Is this just a sliver of the work you do on a day?
As far as overall poundage, I think yes, but when it comes to how it makes us feel, it's a big part. So.
Oh my gosh, that was beautifully said. Thank you, Blake. Well, you will be happy to know that these coats are being distributed already, and the website there on your screen, KXLY.com/coatsforkids, that's where you can find the distribution locations if you have a child or know a child that needs a warm winter coat. We've got them, Robin and Natalie.
So great. 38 years they've been doing it.
Amazing. Yeah. And there's nothing better than a fluffy coat straight out of the dryer, nice and clean for you. Those are always awesome.
Well, you might need a coat this morning. It's a bit chilly and frosty. There's a live look this morning at downtown Spokane.
Yeah, and our winter preview here with those frosty conditions is about to end. So this is our last cool morning for a little while. We can trade our winter coats for raincoats coming up here over the next couple of days. So we start off chilly, but we'll be in the 40s by lunchtime, and we'll stay there for the rest of the day and through the evening as well, with cloud cover evening out those temperatures once we get into the back end of the day. And then for tonight, wet weather and lows over 10 degrees warmer than they will have been this morning. Here's how the timing of that wet weather is going to go. A small chance for the afternoon, but then as we head towards the evening, boy, you can really see by the time we get towards 10, 11 o'clock how that wet weather will be pushing in, and it is going to be a wet night all across the inland Northwest and a wet start to the day. This is 7 a.m. Thursday, and you can still see there's plenty of rain lurking around As we get towards lunchtime tomorrow, we finally see the bulk of the wet weather move away, but we'll see an isolated chance of showers for the rest of the day. But certainly the second half of Thursday looks a lot better. For the next 48 hours, we're talking about a bunch of rain, especially in North Idaho. It is much needed, but it's definitely going to make things pretty soggy in the rest of the week. Then as we head into the weekend, might want to start making some indoor plans for Saturday. It looks like a pretty soggy start as we fall back to Sunday.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
We aren't just HVAC specialists. We're a Lennox Premier dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy greater comfort and lower energy costs. Call us today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates.
Call Norco Heating and Air today.
Okay, guys, have a great day. Don't forget you have soccer after school. Bye, Mom.
See our huge selection of Highlanders built for everyday drivers at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show, an experience you will never forget. Discover Santa's all-new North Pole with holiday getaways starting at only $250.
As a mom, I just don't feel safe taking my kids downtown anymore. And Paul Dillon, he wants to allow homeless encampments near our schools. And he supported policies that prevent police from pursuing domestic violence offenders. Paul is just too extreme for Spokane.
I'm Katie Treelor. I'm a mom, a teacher, and the only independent candidate running for Spokane City Council. I am running to make Spokane safe and clean for everyone, and I'm asking for your vote.
Did you see this? It says most people are going to need long-term care that health insurance and Medicare won't cover.
I saw that, and it got me thinking, if I need to pay for home modifications or in-home care, I am not prepared. Are you?
Not really. I mean, whatever happens, I just want to know that I'll be able to get care and stay in my own home as I age.
Right? I want that too. So,
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now. This Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's 6:53. Time to get you ready to take on your Wednesday in today's morning sprint.
Israel launched airstrikes at a Gaza refugee camp. Sydney Charles has the details.
And Matt Gray is in for Mark Peterson today, talking about a rainy start to the month.
But first, let's get to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker live with an inside look at how thousands of coats get cleaned for 4 News Now's Coats for Kids drive.
Well, our Coats for Kids drive ended yesterday. Now all those donated coats are getting cleaned here at Alsco. We're going to bag up the clean coats and get them out to local community centers so we can get them into the hands of kids who really need them just in time for that very cold weather that is eventually on the way. If you go to KXLY.com/Coats for Kids, you can find a complete list of distribution sites to help your child stay warm this winter.
Dog attacked a child at this home near Nevada and Walton last night, just a few blocks from Rogers High School. Spokane police say that child was rushed to the hospital and has life-threatening injuries. We reached out to Spokane police to check on the child and for details about the dog. They did not tell us anything else. We will post updates and send alerts on the story on the 4 News Now app.
We now know what caused a deadly house fire in Millwood on Monday. A cigarette was tossed outside of the home near the front porch. Fire officials say it fell onto a flammable material outside and then quickly spread into the house. When fire crews arrived, they found 2 young boys inside. They were able to get into the kids' bedroom and get the 7- and 9-year-old out, saying they did everything they could to keep them alive, but to no results. Now the fire department asks that you keep this family in your prayers as they grieve the young lives that were lost.
The FBI is at the King Road house again today, where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last year. This comes after a suspect, Brian Koberger's trial was delayed indefinitely in late August. The FBI is working to build a physical scaled model of the home where the 4 students were killed. To do so, they have laser scanners surrounding the perimeter of the home for 3D photos and a few drones for aerial footage. According to the statement released by the University of Idaho, visual displays like these take months to build, time the FBI did not have when the trial was set to take place this month.
And in your weather, today is the last day where we won't have to worry about rain, so a good time to maybe do some outdoor activities before that wet weather sets in. That's going to be this evening as we see our rain chances really begin to spike after 9 o'clock tonight. By the time we get to the morning, we'll be pretty soggy across the inland Northwest.
An influencer with millions of followers has called for the murder of Catholic Charities workers. Stu Peters is a far-right internet personality with more than 1 million followers across all social media platforms. Now, over the weekend, the Minnesota-based man attacked Catholic Charities during a speech about immigration. In a clip that was posted to his verified X, formerly known as Twitter account, he said the best option to stop undocumented immigration is shooting everyone involved with Catholic Charities. We have more details about this story on our website, KXLY.com.
In North Idaho news, 3 people will spend the next few years in prison for selling meth in North Idaho. David Churchill, Jonathan Chrysler, and Jack Magnus were sentenced for selling drugs in either Sandpoint or Coeur d'Alene in separate cases. To learn more about each of those cases, find this story on KXLY.com.
The Spokane Valley City Council has deferred a vote on a new plan to address homelessness across the city. The action plan consisted of these 3 main points, one of them being to prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place by addressing the city's housing crisis. The plan looks to fill the gap in middle housing. That includes more multifamily housing like duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. The City Council deferred the vote because it wanted more time to make a decision.
This morning, tensions are escalating in the Israel-Hamas war. The Gaza Health Ministry says Israeli military airstrikes on a Gaza refugee camp killed at least 52 Palestinian civilians and injured many more. The Israel Defense Forces confirms it carried out those strikes and that it killed a top Hamas leader and other militants. The IDF is also accusing Hamas of using civilians as human shields. The United Nations Secretary is now renewing calls for a humanitarian ceasefire. The latest on Israel's war with Hamas is coming up next on Good Morning America.
Expecting an announcement from the Federal Reserve on interest rates this afternoon. Most economists predict Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will hold interest rates steady for the 2nd time in a row.
More changes are coming to the Maple Street Bridge today. All northbound lanes will be closed from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. From that point, at least one northbound lane will remain open, but now all southbound lanes will be closed from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. today.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
What I want people to know about Numerica's involvement is that it's genuine.
I work at a company that supports the community because we're a part of it.
It's important to give back to the community you live in.
We are truly here to help, and we're passionate about it.
Twilight Bedding is the choice for all your mattress needs and now has 2 convenient locations in Spokane. Every mattress is manufactured locally, right here in Spokane, and crafted to meet any need you have, whether it's for your bedroom, boat, RV, or your pet. Stop by either location today and talk with an expert about the mattress that's right for you. Sleep right. By Twilight.
Expect even more from KXLY Plus. Live updates from the 4 News Now team. Breaking news as it happens. Weather every 10 minutes. Free on your time. Download the app, connect to your streaming TV, and connect on KXLY Plus.
You can see the sun rising, a little bit of mist and freezing fog in the air. We'll see patchy fog for the rest of the morning around the inland northwest. And this is our last cool morning. That's because our weather pattern is changing to warmer and, well, wetter weather. Today, our last real day where things are going to be fairly dry. We'll even have a small chance of rain on Friday, but really Thursday and Saturday, those are the days I'm looking at for where things are going to be pretty soggy. And we continue with a high chance of rain into early next week.
Well, thanks so much for watching Good Morning Northwest.
Yeah, we'll see you throughout Good Morning America for local updates. It starts here in just a couple of seconds. We'll see you then.